2002 High School Certificate Examination, Music 1, Oral Skills. In this examination, all instruction...
Okay, so while this person's going on about all sorts of things, we've got 6 playings. I've drawn them like that so that you can see that the first 3 playings are over really quickly, and then the last 3 you've got big gaps in between. So the first thing you want to do is have a good look at the question, figure out which of the 6 concepts they're talking about, highlight it, underline it, circle it, do something to it so that you stick to that concept only, and then right above it the 2 or the 3 headings that are often associated with that concept. So you can see there I've highlighted structure because that's what it's about, and then unity and contrast.
Here is the first playing.
Okay, so we've got our first playing coming up. Just list the instruments with gaps in between 2 or 3 lines. I think I only leave 2, but you should really leave 3. Main instruments. Forget all the little stuff. Just get the main stuff down first. You've got plenty of time to get the smaller things. In this recording, for some reason, for whatever reason, the harpsichord's actually really difficult to hear. In the actual HSC recording, it was much easier to hear, obviously. You'll notice I've written low strings instead of listing each instrument individually because they're doing the same things. So that's the performing media, is low strings. There's no point putting down cello and double bass, etc., because they're not doing anything different from each other. Try and keep it as simple as possible. Alright, so in the first playing I've listed the instruments. I've just simplified the look of it now. This time, every time you hear a change in section, draw a vertical line and tick who plays in that section. Actually, when you're listening to sections, make sure they're obvious, clear sections. If the question's about structure, they're going to be fairly obvious sections. Okay, so I'm happy with myself there. I've got all the sections. I've ticked who's playing what sections. Just in this 30-second gap here between the second and third playing, I'm just going to put in anything else I noticed. Just really simple things. I'm just writing in who had the melody here and there. If you don't get time to do that, well, you don't have time, but here are a few things I noticed.
Here is the third playing.
Right, third playing, start filling out the boxes. Really quick little annotations, sometimes abbreviations like M for melody, etc. I've just notated the start of the melody there. There you can hear a change in melody, so I've just quickly drawn the melody so I can tell the difference between the 2. Sometimes it can be hard to tell a change in melody. Sometimes you'll be so busy with one section you'll miss some or whatever. You've really just got to sort of put comments where you can. The most obvious things. Don't concentrate on all the little finicky things. The main things. This is what the examiner wants to make sure that you can hear. Okay, so I've now got a 1-minute gap where I'm just fixing up my annotations. You'll notice that there's a lot of technical problems I'm having along the way. I kept all these in so it sort of shows a realistic view of how to approach the exam. Things are going to go wrong. You're going to write the wrong thing, cross it out, realise that melody 1 was actually melody 2. All those sorts of things are going to happen, and do happen to me as I'm doing this, just sort of as a live recording to show you that even with all these problems I'm having, like right now with the computer going berserk, you can still get a band 6 response if you approach it this way. So that is already showing so much, showing there are 8 sections, showing who's doing what in
Here
each.
is the 4th playing.
So 4th playing, I just add in more things. Remember, it's a structure question, so they just want to know basically how it's all put together, which can mean comments on any concept, as long as it's related to unity and contrast. Starting to notice short chords. Also, doing it this way, you can see where there's ticks that you haven't put anything. They're potential valid points to add. In this, I've still kept them fairly easy to read. If I was doing this handwritten and by myself, I'd be writing sort of AC for accompaniment and then filling it out later on. Remember, you want to fill out your abbreviations in these boxes later on, otherwise the examiner won't know what you meant either. And this is marked as well. Okay, so you continue filling out. As soon as you can't fill out anything more in the box, start writing comments underneath in dot point form. I don't in this situation because I can still think of other things I want to add, but if you can't think of something else to add to the boxes, start writing beneath. You don't want to write comments below about things that are obvious above. You want to write about, funnily enough, things that happen in this notation that are to do with unity and contrast. You don't want to say in section A this happens and then in section B this happens, because you've already shown all that. You've shown the whole thing. You're already above a lot of the kids that are going to sit there going this, then this, then this, then this happened, because you've just shown it all. What you really want to write beneath is comments about what created unity and what created contrast by looking at the graph above. Okay, I've just named the sections too. I named them according to the melody. So if it was melody 1, then I called it A. If it was melody 2, then I called it a B section. Every single response I've seen called them different things. So remember, when an examiner's looking at why I named them those things, it's going to be quite clear as to why I thought they were B section or A section, because I've differentiated them by the melodies. Other people thought they went, thought the variation on melody 2 was actually a C section. There's a lot of different interpretations of the same piece, but I'm able to justify it, so I'm correct. So are they. Every time you get a playing, you really should be going back to the boxes, because you're able to get so much more information down in the boxes while listening, and it keeps you focused while listening, and then keep doing the essay in between.